Okay. Let's see if we're ready to go here. I think we are. Working out a little technical difficulties. Sorry for the delay, folks. All right. Looks like we are in business. What's up, Wolf Lord? Had a little technical difficulties to start off right there, but we are ready to roll now. How's your week been? Hopefully it's been a good one. I was going to start off this one with some different Titanic footage. Unfortunately, I was having issues with that as well, so it was not meant to be. I will have that next time we return to our regular scheduled programming, which will be a histo chat, of course. Um, how was your birthday, by the way? I know what you got for your birthday, and that was pretty awesome. He got a USS Texas model, by the way, one that I really want. So yeah, just a real quick announcement before we really get things rolling for this week. Next week or next month for October, All American Travels is going All American Horror. So for each live stream in October, we're going to have it's all about the Halloween season, horror stuff, movies, games, wherever the conversations take us. But tonight, it's been all about, or as it will always be, about chips. So, as you can see, like I mentioned, we're starting off with some Titanic stuff. Joining us this week, of course, is the Titanic, the Britannic, the Queen Mary, and the Big U, SS United States. The Queen hasn't been with us in a while. It was time for her to come back, at least for tonight's stream, because earlier this week, on the 26th, it was the 89th anniversary of the christening and launching of the Queen Mary. So I thought it'd be appropriate to have her join us for the live stream this week. And we haven't seen the Big U in a while, so I figured it was time for it to make an appearance as well. So, let's see what ships you've been looking at this week, Wolf. I know we were kind of talking a little bit about the USS Tang earlier today. Talked about a few other ships as well, mostly naval ships. Wolf has kind of become our resident naval guy when it comes to ships in our Discord community. By the way, if you want to join that, it is All American Travels on Discord. So yeah, here we go. I mean, I know we've seen this footage several times, but I mean, I never get tired of it. I never get tired of walking around the exterior of the ship. I know, and I've talked about this upcoming game, Grand Voyage, for a few weeks. And Titanic, as of right now, from what I understand, will not be in that game because Mike Brady does have a working relationship with Titanic Honor and Glory, which is the developers of the footage we're looking at here. But I imagine at some point he will, because what is cooler than to be able to actually look around the ship? Because in his game, you will be able to take like a little boat and sail around like in a harbor around the ship that you are taking a look at. And I mean, who doesn't want to do that with Titanic? So I've been looking at some Japanese battleships since I got two for my B day. Oh, so you got more ships besides the Texas. So what ships did you get besides the Texas for your birthday? Um, I will say that I have been working on a 1 to 700 model of the USS New Orleans, which was a New Orleans class cruiser, one of the most decorated ships in World War II. I know she took a torpedo to the bow, lost over 150 feet of her forecastle in the explosion. Then another 50 foot or 50 feet broke off of the ship after the fact, and the ship did not sink. She survived. She was able to get repaired. She even had to sail backwards from one repair spot to another at some point to prevent forced flooding, which is essentially what happened to Titanic on a lesser scale, but a lot more so with Britannic and Lusitania. Let's see. A 1 to 350 Texas and a 1 to 700 Fuso, and also a 1 to 700 Nagato. Currently working on the Nagato. Okay, I will have to look up those ships later to see what they look like, or if you want, you can post some pictures in the Discord. Our ships channel has been really active in the Discord. That's mostly between Wolf and myself. But I love having someone else in there that enjoys ships as much as I do. So if you are one of those folks and you love ships, you love maritime history, come in there and join us. Because we don't just talk about ocean liners, we talk about naval vessels too, from World War One, World War II. We even talk about current vessels. I know we were talking recently about the USS Louisiana, which is a modern submarine. Well, modern in the sense that it launched in the 90s, if memory serves. So there we go with that yawning thing again. So yeah, it isn't just related to historical vessels. We talk current vessels as well. And I wanted to show this to everyone last week. This was on the stream last week, but I forgot to take it down and show you guys. This here is a actual piece of the original wood deck on the USS Alabama. The ship is currently undergoing complete renovations on its decks. They're putting a teak deck in there, and they're selling pieces of the original deck as souvenirs. And this one's mine, of course. They've got the USS Alabama logo with Battleship Memorial Park. I'll read this thing for you. Let me find some good light. Which reminds me, let me turn on this light. There, that's a lot better. So it says, from its humble beginnings on February 1st, 1940, as the keel was laid at the Norfolk Navy Yard in Portsmouth, Virginia, battleship USS Alabama BB-60 has had a remarkable career. She began her World War II adventures in the North Atlantic in 1943. Then later that year, went to the South Pacific Seas. She ended up in Mobile, Alabama as a National Historic Landmark and memorial to millions. Home to a crew of 2,500 courageous Americans, this 45,000-ton war machine's World War II adventure culminated with BB-60 leading the American fleet into Tokyo Bay on September 5th, 1945. 9 battle stars for meritorious service were awarded the Mighty A during her brief 3-year tenure as the heroine of the Pacific. So yeah, one more time. Original wooden deck. So a piece of this deck was this piece was on the ship when it went into Tokyo Bay for the formal surrender of Japan at the end of World War II. It's my little memento there. I think I'm going to find a frame for it eventually. Let's see. What's up, Nathan? How has your week been, my friend? I hope you've been doing well. So you got that cool new video card. Maybe you'll get on some warships with me at some point. And speaking of warships, so um, we're going to be seeing a new ship, some warship footage tonight. The USS Texas was on sale in the warship Steam store or shop store, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It was on sale for $10, so I went ahead and bought it. I don't know why I do this lately. I wasn't doing this in the beginning when I was starting to stream. But anyway, we're going to be, after the Titanic footage is done, we're going to see some footage of the kid. And then we are going to see some footage of the USS Texas. Which, by the way, yours truly is going to be at the USS Kidd, not this weekend that's upon us, but the following. Real excited about that, of course, because I never pass up a chance to see the kid. Luckily, it's not that far away from me. And again, in November, I will be going visit the Texas. There are two other ships that are within a stone's throw from the Texas. And I may have mentioned this before, that I will be going check out as well. One is a submarine called the USS Kavala, which is a Gato-class submarine. I don't know if it's Gato, I just say Gato, Gato. It's the same type of sub that the USS Drum is, which you can visit at the USS Alabama Battleship Memorial Park. Can't wait to see some footage of USS Texas. It's coming, my friend. It is coming. So this Titanic footage usually runs about 15 minutes or so. And I went into Honor and Glory and I recorded some different footage. Again, for Titanic, I was not able to have it ready for tonight's stream, but it will be ready when we start doing ships again in November. I can tell you for sure one thing that we will definitely be streaming in November is, the anniversary of the Britannic sinking is in November. She sunk November 21st, 1916, which is the 21st is the day before one of the live streams. So that Friday, when we do the live stream, it's going to be all about Britannic. We are going to run Britannic Patroness of the Mediterranean, and we are going to watch the sinking in real time. Of course, it took her 53 minutes to sink. We're going to sit through the whole thing and watch her sink through Britannic Patroness of the Mediterranean. I have another game that also simulates the sinking, but it's a very inaccurate version of the sinking. So we're going to stick with Patroness of the Mediterranean. It's going to be interesting, Wolf. I don't know how much you know about the Britannic, but if you don't know a whole lot about her, be prepared. You will when we're done. That's for sure. And I can tell you right now, we're about to transition to the kid. We're going to see the kid in action. Now, here we go. Here's the kid in action. Yep, DD661. Now, this looks like a generic. This is not exactly how the kid is painted. You saw the little pirate on the mast. That is definitely there. But this is not the actual paint scheme of the kid. It's like a light gray and a darker gray. And then, of course, the little black stripe with the fouling part of the hull being red. I know some things about Britannic, mainly that she sank and she was Titanic's sister ship. Yeah. So as you can imagine, I I know more about Britannic than I probably should. You could say that about all the Olympic class. We will be discussing. We will be as events unfold. I'll be narrating. Narrating. There's a word for you. Narrating things as they unfold throughout the sinking. But yeah, another ship we were talking about today in the Discord is a submarine called the USS Tang. The Tang is the most decorated ship, or most decorated submarine in World War II, and she sunk because she got struck by one of her own torpedoes. That's going to be exciting. Yes, I'm very much looking forward to that stream because well, we're going to look at the Britannic, of course, as she really was, but we're going to take the what if scenario too. And what I mean by that is they show how she would have looked like, how she was supposed to look like. Remember, she was supposed to be a passenger liner. She never was a passenger liner. She was only ever a hospital ship during the war. But they show the ship how she was intended to look were she a passenger liner. So we're going to take a look at that too. But yeah, the Tang was a ship, American ship, most decorated submarine in World War One, or excuse me, World War Two, and I forget exactly how it went, but she got hit by her own torpedo. The torpedo basically made a loop and struck the Tang in the stern section. She went down pretty quick, from what I remember. Over half the crew perished. Some did survive, made it to the surface. They were captured by Japanese. And I think they were held until the end of the war. So yeah, the sad thing, the most successful submarine, and she got sunk by her own torpedo. Good. I need a game that also covers or gives us footage of the Olympic, and maybe we will see that in Grand Voyage. Because I talk about Titanic a lot, I talk about Britannic a lot, obviously, because we have these quote unquote digital museums of those two ships, but we have nothing on Olympic. So we need to get some type of footage on the Olympic. I'm finally on the PC. Congratulations, Nathan. I'm sure you are super excited about that. And here we are, folks. Here she is, the debut of the USS Texas. Wonder what would have happened to Tang if she would have survived the war. I imagine because of her service record, I don't think the Tang would have been scrapped. I think she would have ended up being a museum ship somewhere. Your dad keeps hogging it. Huh? Tell your dad to quit hogging it, especially during stream time. We have stuff to talk about. But yep, here she is, USS Texas, BB-35. Again, I am going to be on this ship in November. I cannot wait for that. Super excited to be going on this ship, the last dreadnought ship in existence right here. And of course, we're going to see her in action in a bit. I'm excited to see that model of the Texas when you're done with it, Wolf Lord. Yeah, we don't do. I never did mess with the 4x4 stuff. All right, here we go. She's about to go into action here. I will say though that this ship is extremely slow in the game. Oh my God, it is rough. You cannot play this this ship in the bot mode, because by the time you actually come into contact with the ships that are in playing against in the bot mode, half of them are already sunk because she's that slow. You may say, what do I think about other trucks? I personally prefer the Toyota trucks over pretty much any other truck, honestly. As what kind of truck would I buy if I were in the market? A Toyota for sure. I'm just really not a fan of any other trucks, to be honest. So either the Tundra or Tacoma, whichever one is going to fit your needs. The ones I showed you earlier, the Tacoma easily. Yeah, the newer models got that V6 turbo, as they call it. Some of them got that hybrid engine. Let's see. Wolf says, only thing I've done is put the hull together because I wanted to see what it looked like. Looks a whole lot like the Arizona's hull to me. You could tell the Arizona was a revolution of what the Texas, of what that class was. V8s are great, Nathan, but they burn a crap ton of gas. So if you're going to buy a big truck, remember, you're not buying a big truck for fuel economy because they are gas guzzlers. You know, let's say the Arizona was a Pennsylvania class. I forget what class of ship the New York, I mean the Texas was. Was it a New York class? I'm trying to remember. I really can't remember. If you know off the top of your head, Wolf, let me know in the chat. I'm trying to remember what class the Texas is. I know it predates the Arizona's class. Yeah, my mom would probably good with the two-wheel drive Tacoma, and my dad likes the Frontiers, so he'd probably good at two-wheel drive of it. Nissan is absolutely at the bottom of my list as far as any type of vehicle is concerned. Nissan is garbage, in my opinion. No offense to anyone who owns a Nissan. Okay, Texas is a New York class. Okay, I thought so, but I couldn't remember for sure. I'll say one thing about the Texas model, and that is, so far, if you don't want gaps in the hull, be prepared to squeeze the hull together and have some super glue for the inside and some other things. You can also use, if you got gaps in your hull, you can also use putty to fill in those gaps as well. Actually, I did that on the Queen Mary, and I'll show this to you. Their trucks are good, but man, with cars. Nah, their trucks suck too, Nathan. Trust me. So, looking at the Queen, and I don't know how well it's going to show up. I got to be careful how I handle her, but you see right here, there was this big gap in the hull right here on the Queen, and I filled that in with putty, and then all the rest was held together by the glue, and it did a great job. The putty was excellent. It's the ship is held together fine. Which way am I moving here? Yeah, there we go. I mean, she's actually fell off of this shelf one time and stayed intact. So, you may have owned some good Nissans, Nathan, but they're a dime a dozen. Trust me, I know mechanics that have worked on Nissans for years. You know, I have a lot to do with the auto industry, and I'm telling you, Nissan is not worth what they ask for. But hey, who am I to tell somebody what to do with their money? If you want to buy a Nissan, buy a Nissan. I'll probably need to use some of that then for the bottom since there is a small gap. Yeah, the way I did it, and I suppose it doesn't matter which way you do it, but I feel before I started putting all the superstructure and the decks on, I put the putty in from the inside. Got it all in there, smoothed it out, let it dry, and it's totally fine. I had the same issue with the Arizona model where I had a big gap, but eventually I was able to close that gap completely without the need for putty. Now the Titanic, yeah, I'm a Toyota guy. Yes, Nathan, I'm with you on that. I'm for Toyota all the way. I believe in their product. I think they have the best on the market. That's just my opinion. It's the opinion of other people I know within the industry. But here's the Titanic's hull, and this one pretty much lined up perfectly, or as close to perfect as you can get. Which is odd because, well, not odd, but funny in a way, that this model is not accurate at all, not by any means. Well, let me rephrase that. It's not as accurate as other models on the market. It's a cheap little model. I'm not to toot my own horn, but I think I did an incredible job with it all the same. So yeah, all three of those, the Arizona, the Queen, the Titanic, they all had that hull, that split hull that you had to piece together. I think Mauritania had that too, but Mauritania came out really nice as well. 20 to 25K for a good, decent mileage Tundra 4x4 double cab or crew max with the 5.7 V8. You could probably go with a double cab. You don't need all. Just my personal opinion. You're a young guy. You're single. You don't have a family or any of that stuff yet. So take advantage of having the smaller cab with the extra bed space because in our private discussions, I kind of get the impression you want more room. And like I said, you really don't need a giant cab because you're not hauling around people. You want to haul around stuff. So I would recommend trying to find a double cab. See, eventually I'm going to get that Texas model, Wolf, the same one you got. I want to find out if this paint scheme that's on the ship here in the game is accurate to how the ship actually looked at any point in her life. Because some of these ships, they didn't always keep the same paint scheme. For example, I know Arizona looked a lot different when the Pearl Harbor attack happened as opposed to earlier in her career. And that's the thing with the Arizona. I think a lot of people may not know this, but that ship was almost 25 years old at the time of the attack on Pearl Harbor. So that ship underwent a lot of changes to superstructure, paint schemes throughout her career. My uncle has a 2000 double cab SR5 4x4 that's pretty nice. He's taking really good care of it and he plans to keep it. I think it's a 2007, but it's definitely second gen. Well, it's 2007 to 2021 would have been second gen. So yeah, anything in that time frame would be second gen. The original gen was 2000 to 2006. Just admiring the Texas here for a minute. Checking to see if it was going to get that sink. I just got this ship a few days ago, so. Seeing the World War I version of U.S. battleships to the World War II versions is always fascinating. Absolutely. Hope I'm not derailing the No, you're not derailing the conversation at all. we pick a thing of like ships and stuff to talk about, but that's, we don't have to talk about just that. So, you want to talk about trucks? I'm all about talking about trucks too. Texas looks almost like a completely different ship. I don't know if I've seen pictures of the Texas in her World War II configuration, or maybe this is her World War II configuration. Honestly, I am not certain. I always think of her as like a World War One battleship because that's really where she got going. She was built during that time. I mean, the Texas was actually a pretty outdated ship by World War II. When you look at the newer ships that are actually still in existence, when you look at the North Carolina, when you look at the South Dakota class, which is what the Alabama is, you look at the Iowas, you know, she's a greatly outdated ship when you compare it to those ships. And those ships were built for World War II. I've wanted to get a. That's her World War II configuration. Okay. Like I said, I assumed that this was her World War One configuration. I'm glad you were able to point that out. See, I've wanted to get a truck for a long time after my family owning several. When I was growing up, I've always been a truck guy in one way or another. When I was a whole lot younger, probably around your age, I was into like these little two-door sports cars. Like I had a couple of what you call those Mitsubishi Eclipses. I had a Mustang at one point, and once I bought a truck, I was like, I never can own a car again. They're too small. They're not practical to me. I would much rather have a big truck, and especially being a photographer, I carry a lot of gear around with me. I need ample storage for all of that stuff. One of the things I do when I go on a shoot, I got a big wagon that I throw everything in, and I carry that around with me as well. So I need a truck bed for that. So I just find a truck to be more practical. See, World War One Texas had cage mass, and she lacked a lot of the bulk they gave her in her many refits, and she also had a second funnel, and her secondaries were mounted lower in the hull. Yeah, okay, I see. After you explain that, I see exactly the differences that you're talking about. Because I know those ships had those cage masts. The Arizona had those as well when she was first built. And then they went with these, I don't know, I call it the tripod mast. I still haven't learned yet what those big towers were for. That's not the bridge. The bridge is just aft and up from the second turret on the forecastle. But a lot of those ships that survived past World War One that had those cage masts, they did get converted to what you see here on the Texas and what the Arizona eventually got. I'm going to step away, chat, just for a second and get us a swig of drink. My throat's kind of drying out. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's see. As far as I know, there were only two U.S. warships by World War II that had the cage masts: the USS Maryland and USS Colorado. Okay, interesting. Hey, you want a truck story and a ship story all in one, Nathan? Here's one for you. So, in 2018, we took a family trip to visit the USS Alabama, and we were able to fit 5 people comfortably in a double cab truck with no issue. And we drove to the Alabama. We actually went to Pensacola, Florida that year as on that same trip as well. Never had a problem with having enough room for not only people but for all of our stuff as well. So yeah, a double cab would be more than sufficient for you. And of course, that was before they added air conditioning on the Alabama. We went in the middle of the summer, and oh, geez, that was a mistake. So yeah, good news is if you actually go to tour the Alabama now, the whole inside of the ship is air conditioned because you do not want to be on that ship in June, July, August, September. That's a nightmare. And that's one of the reasons why I waited. I'm waiting till November to go tour the Texas because it will be plenty cool by that point. Because Galveston has the same type of climate that we have here in South Louisiana, and that they have in Mobile. You know, the whole Gulf Coast shares the same climate. I'm not going on a ship in the middle of summer. I'm thrilled to say that the weather is finally getting better here. Of course, I think fall started last weekend. Around here, it takes a little longer. Louisiana has to think about it for a little while before we actually decide to get fall weather. Sorry, I keep getting caught up in looking at this footage of the ship. It's going to be so odd being able to walk on that ship. So I'm going to get to see the ship while it's being repaired, and I of course intend to go back and tour the ship once it's reopened as a museum ship. And as I understand it, it's going to stay in Galveston at that point. It must get pretty hot in those warships during the summer. You have no idea. Said, oh, and it takes hours to tour the Alabama. And I imagine it would probably take a couple hours to tour the Texas too, but the Alabama's an even larger ship. So, you know, the Kid, I wouldn't do the Kid that during the summer either, even though it's a much smaller ship. You could get through the Kid in about an hour. I mean, it's a destroyer. You know, it's not a very large ship. Seems like people run 35-inch tires when they lift a Tundra. Seems like 12 to 13 miles per gallon on the highway. They get 17. Definitely not great, but like you said, you don't get a truck. Here's the thing: when you lift a truck, and you're putting those big all-terrain mud grip tires, all that stuff on there, you're not only are you making the ride of the truck even worse, and a Tundra is actually a decent riding truck, you are screwing up the gas mileage even more. And a Tundra is one of the worst trucks as far as gas mileage is concerned. See, our stock Silverado 1500, I think we got about that much in terms of fuel economy. That would not surprise me. You might have gotten a little bit more than that too. Like I said, as I understand it, Unfortunately, Tundra is one of the worst as far as gas mileage in those big trucks like that. I mean, it is just a gas guzzler. So if you want, if you buy a big truck like that, be prepared. Tell you what, also I wouldn't mind having is like a 36-gallon tank. No, it is not a 36-gallon tank. I think it's like a 26-gallon tank. No, it's definitely not 36 gallons. But yeah, I was saying earlier how I'm thinking about going. Well, I'm not thinking. I'm definitely going to the Kid next weekend. Uh, let's see. So yeah, definitely going to the Kid next weekend, and I'm gonna probably do the tour of the ship again because let's see. I think I said this last week. To me, buying a ticket and touring the ship is the equivalent of making a donation to the ship, and I intend to do that. I'm going to be checking out the river levels. For those who may remember, if you've been following the channel for a while, I did a video by the Kid last year. It was called "Sunken Ship," and I was checking out the little ferry called the Brook Hill that sunk in 1915, and we were able to see it because the water levels on the Mississippi were so low. As I understand, the water is that low again. So basically, going out there to do another update video like that, see how far out of water the Kid is, see if the Brook Hill is visible again. Yeah, there are other reasons I'm going out there too. There's a oh, here's one. Let me read Nathan's comment real quick, and then I'll say this. Only limited platinum trims have the 38-gallon fuel tank. Honestly, I'd probably keep it stock height and just get some different wheels, tires with the better terrain. You want street tires if it's going to be a truck you're using every day. I mean, yeah, the all-terrain stuff, it looks more aggressive, it looks cooler and all that. But I guess it's just what's more important to you. Spending more because you're going to make the truck even less fuel efficient than it already is, or like you said, you just want to make the truck look cool. It really depends on what you want. And Matt is joining us. Logged onto YouTube but didn't see the stream. Well, that's interesting. We are doing good, Matt. Glad to have you back with us. Hope you're doing as well as can be. We're definitely glad to have you back with us. So I was saying next Saturday, Wolf, this will be right up your alley. There is a model building convention / contest in Baton Rouge next weekend, and I'm going to pretty much spending almost the whole day out there. There's model cars, ships, figures, you name it. That's what's going to be at that convention. Of course, I'm going to check out the ships and see if there's any I might want to buy. But I'll be doing that. I'm going to check out the Kid. I'm going to be doing some other stuff. I'm pretty much spending the whole day there. So that is my plans for next weekend, and I'm real excited about that. But one thing I'm going to be starting this weekend, yeah, oh wow, yes, definitely. I will be taking some pics, that's for sure. Sounds like heaven. It will be, my friend. It will be. I can't wait to go there and see what all they've got. And says, "Wow, that will be interesting." Yes, it will. I don't think I will be. I'm just going to go there and basically browse at the stuff. I have no intentions of entering any of my stuff. I don't think I'm honestly at a level yet where I should be putting my stuff in competitions. So that's not really what I'm going for. I'm just going to browse and check out other people's work. And like I said, maybe there's a ship or something that I want that somebody might have. The one that I want the most, more than anything, Revell did a model of the Olympic in her original 1911 configuration. I've been searching for that for almost the entire year now. No luck. Can't find it anywhere. Yeah, so Matt, we are looking at the Texas here. Bought it in Warships the other day. She is very, very slow, but I mean, even for a battleship, she's slow. But she of course packs a good punch. When she hits, you're gonna feel it. And Wolf and I were talking earlier, and because I wasn't sure, but this is how the Texas looked in its World War II configuration. Remember, this ship was around in World War One, but she did not look like this. She had the cage masts like you see. If you go in the game and look at like the South Carolina class ships, they got them big cage masts. She had those originally. The Arizona also had those. These ships were updated and refitted over time. And yeah, this is her World War II configuration. You should keep your eyes out for a model of USS Oregon and USS Olympia. There are some old discontinued kits, but they looked really great. That's good to know. I'll try and keep that in mind. But I'll tell you, if I see that model of the Olympic, ain't nothing stopping me from buying that unless they want like $1,000 for the thing. I wouldn't mind a copy of that USS California we were talking about recently. I love the whole more modern superstructure put on a dreadnought's hull. That's a really interesting combination there, and I really dig the way that looks. .25-70-18s is a tire size that works well with the Tundra on stock height. Get some better off-road tires that won't affect it too much. Yeah, that's one of the. You're right. That's definitely one of the like the stock sizes that go on that truck. I'd like to see some suspension upgrades, like a high-quality leveling kit. If I did anything, I know on the new body Tundras, Toyota is offering a TRD lift kit on the new body Tundras. I don't think it's available on the. Oh, we almost have a collision here. Yeah, on the new bodies, Toyota's offering something, not on the previous gen. USS California was a really cool ship. I hope Trumpeter releases a 1-350 of it one day. That would be really cool. Matt says, does that model convention cost to get into? I am not entirely sure on that, Matt. I will have to ask some of the people in the local modeling group because they would probably know. Yeah, I got to pick up someone that did that tire size. I really like how they did it completely stock height. Cool. Good to know. Tell you another truck I wouldn't mind having, and some people may think of it as an SUV, but a 4Runner. A 4Runner is actually classified as a truck, not an SUV. I would not mind having a 4Runner. But yeah, I'm going to be spending that whole day in Baton Rouge, Matt. I'm going to be going to that convention, going to tour the kid, probably going to the state capitol. Going to be spending the entire day out there. Nathan says 4Runners are cool, but they are mid-size. Yeah, they are mid-size, and that's one of the reasons why I wouldn't mind having one. It's going to be a little cheaper on gas than a Tundra. And they're just big enough where you could still fit a lot of stuff in it. Sent you a couple of pics of the truck. Okay. I will look at all of that after the stream is over, which is not going to be too much longer from now. We got about 10-15 minutes left. Yeah, we'll talk about that off stream, Matt. Oh, we just had a collision there. And the other team's ship survived by a hair, and now it's gone. Nathan wants to check out his 4060. Let's see. What's your opinion on the USS Wyoming and World of Warships? I would have to play it again, Wolf. It's been a really long time since I've played the Wyoming. My memory on it is not so great. So I would have to play it for a few rounds before I could give you an honest opinion on it. Anyway, I will be watching their website from now on a whole lot more now that I know that they occasionally put ships on sale. It was just random chance that I happened to look at the Warships website and saw that the Texas was on sale. It wasn't like I was going to look and see what was on sale. I didn't even know they put certain items on sale. And it says, I'm not in the gaming mood again just yet. That's no worries, man. You know, take your time, and when you're ready again, we're here waiting. I may or may not play a few rounds of Warships when I'm done. I'm undecided. So for me, I don't know about you guys, but Sunday is October 1st. So as of today, Halloween season has officially begun for me. And I started playing my Halloween playlist today. Matt knows what that's all about. And I got the original soundtrack of the original Halloween movie, and I was playing that in the truck today. Going to be watching some horror stuff probably tonight. And over the weekend, of course, like I said, next week and every weekend or every Friday stream in October, All American Travels is going to be All American Horror. The shelf is going to be decorated with all kinds of, horror Halloween related items. And true fun story. So actually, after last week's stream, I had it in my head that this Friday, today, we would be in October. So actually, I took all this stuff down, decorated the whole thing with all the Halloween stuff that I wanted to put up. And I realized like 2 days ago, we're still going to be in September for tonight's stream. So I had to take all that stuff down, put all the ship stuff back up. So that was fun. We're probably going to be watching a lot of horror movies now. That's kind of what I do throughout all of October. Listen to my Halloween playlist when I'm driving. Watch a lot of horror movies. I'll watch a lot of horror documentaries. You know, the Halloween season is just so fun to me. We will, and also on those streams, we will not be looking at ships. We will be looking at horror games. I'll leave it a surprise as to which ones we're going to be watching as we talk. So yeah, that's what October is going to look like. Now the polls of the day, I'm going to try and do for all of October. The shorts of the day and the polls of the day are all going to be Halloween horror related stuff in October. The only thing that's going to probably remain the same is the weekday quizzes will probably remain ship related. Everything else is going to be horror Halloween related. So we got about like 2 minutes left, so I think that's a good time to go ahead and start to wrap things up. So again, every Friday stream in October, we will still be live streaming at the same time, which is Fridays, 7 o'clock. All times are Central Standard Time. All American Travels will be All American Horror. The shorts, Monday through Friday, 11 Central Standard Time. The polls, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And the quizzes, Monday through Friday, Central Standard Time at 9 a.m. And that is our content schedule. I would play some horror games, but I'm too busy playing that Okami game I was talking about the other day. Okay. I probably won't be playing too many games, actually. Actually, we're going to go a little bit longer because there's a shot in this last piece of footage that I want you guys to see before we wrap it up. But at the end of that, we're going to call it. But I have a bunch of footage from games that I've already played. Because I actually have a gaming YouTube channel, but I haven't put new content on it in years, so I don't really promote it. I don't really play any of those games that I put the content on there for. So that's why I don't really plug that. But I'm going to be getting a lot of footage off of that channel, and that's what we're going to be watching while we talk. This is a beautiful sunset, by the way. Oh, and Wolf, I don't know if you saw this, but the weekly video that came out this morning got a little footage from Texas in there, if you happen to be interested. No, you're good, Nathan. Like I said, after the stream, I'm going to take a look at all of that. Which, like I said, after this piece of footage runs, we're going to wrap it up there. But there's a one. I'll tell you guys what it is, and all three of you are going to like this. This is it's a one-shot kill that I do with the Texas and it's on. These are not computer. These are not bots. I hit a real player. One-shot kill. and I think it's at the end of this footage. So I don't want to log off without you guys seeing that. If you guys hear a squeaking noise, I apologize. That's someone's brakes outside or their belt. So yeah, I can't wait to see this. It's a shot where we're looking at a complete side profile of the ship on the starboard side. No, actually, I think it's going to be coming up. But yeah, I cannot wait to talk some Halloween stuff with you guys over the coming month. Sounds like someone needs a pulley belt adjusted. Yeah, so I say it's got to be it's a squeaky belt or a squeaky pulley, one of the two. Be nice if they'd hurry up and leave, so I ain't got to sit here and listen to this for a while. And it finally stopped. I'll bet they don't have a Toyota. Now I'm hearing squeaky brakes. And there they go. All right, I think that shot is coming up now. Mine been squeaking for a few seconds sometimes when I start it up. Well, if it's only for a few seconds, you shouldn't be too bad. But constantly going like that belt was, geez. Been doing it since they tuned your engine. It's one thing I've not had to deal with yet. Oh, look, about to get torped here. Oh, nope, the torpedoes are dying out. All right, here we go. Pay attention right here, guys. And I think this is it. And boom, there it is. One shot. Devastating strike. You see the right underneath the little sunken ship icon, you can see it. I got the little icon for the devastating strike there. Okay, and yep, that wraps up the footage right there. All right, guys. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I appreciate you guys watching as always. Matt, we're glad to have you back with us. One day at a time, dude. And we're there if you need us. Wolf and Nathan, thank you guys for coming as well. Always appreciate it. And remember, next Friday, All American Horror. Thanks, everyone. And I appreciate it. And until the next time, as always, you know the drill. Drive safely.